Hey guys, how you doing? It's Voodoo here and welcome to episode 18 in my Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Emblem editor series. Today we're looking at the Skyrim logo. Now I'm really pleased that I've managed to do this one because on the Black Ops 1 I had a go at it and I simply could not pull it off. Basically it was it was a little bit difficult and you just could not get it right. With the amount of layers you had, you couldn't get it right. I've also gone down the sort of the shading effect that I've done on a few of my logos just to give it a sort of like a tarnished sort of different colour sort of thing at the end. Also towards the end of this emblem I do change things a little bit, so if you're a little bit unsure what I do, make sure you watch the video all the way through, and there's just a little bit in the bottom of the left wing of the dragon that I actually change just to free up another layer just so I can use the shading effect. So basically I've put a square on the background and maxed that out, turned it grey. We've got a W, flipped the W, widened it, and then copy and pasted, put another W on top of that. That sort of gives you the outer edge of your diamondish sort of shape. This is the way I've done it. There is other ways you can do this, but this is the way I decided to do it. There may be easier ways, there may be more difficult ways, but nevertheless this is what I did. So then what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to grab, now this is a very odd shape, it is a broken column is basically what that is. I don't know why it's called a broken column, but grab a broken column, free scale that up, and then that gives you sort of like a triangle-y type bit to the tail. Then you want to copy and paste for another broken column, put that beside. I've thinned it out a little bit, and that then gives you the next part of the tail of the dragon. And then I grabbed another, copied and pasted another broken column, and then just free scaled that up. Now the reason I copy and paste is because everything's the right colour if you do it that way. If you just grab a new shape, then that means you have to change the colour, and it's all very hard work. Anyway, grab yourself a triangle, and then you sort of like can start to make the wing of the dragon by just sort of like free scaling that up, making it nice and sort of slim and skinny. That's now the basic part of the wing that we're now making. Copy and pasted another triangle across there, and that's sort of like finishing off the tail. Now this is the bit that I do change. I end up using an igloo on here, and I'm sure I used two of these to do this wing, but on the actual finished one I use just an igloo, and I free scale that up just to get that right, and then that way I can save a layer. Obviously it is all about saving layers. There's a little bit of detail I put on the wings just to sort of add a sort of a shading effect on there, just to give it a little bit more detail, and that's why I used 4 of them, and it didn't leave me enough layers so I could do the sort of lighting effect. Now grabbed a triangle wide and then free scaled that just to give you a nice sort of shape there. Now we're going to do the bottom half's quite awkward because you've got all these wonky lines and all these jaggedy things. You could possibly do it with a triangle at the bottom and then put grey things on top, but I went for the sort of more sort of rustic-y sort of style look. And then what I did is there I grabbed a windsock and free scaled that up for the base of the neck of the dragon. Then we grabbed the bone and free scaled that up and got that just right. And then we're going to go for a curved line just to do the finishing part of the neck, and then that's absolutely spot on there. So then for the head, what you need to grab is you'll need to grab an axe for the head, so we use 2 of them curved lines there. Then you grab an axe, free scale that to give it sort of a narrow sort of look, and it's got a nice curved bit on the end to make it look like the sort of the mouth of the dragon. And that's that bit done. Free scale that to the right sort of shape, and then we use a couple of gold flags for the horns of the dragon. And it's quite a straightforward one, guys. This isn't too much of a long video, so it ain't too bad, and I'm sure you guys who are becoming pros at emblems will have no problem pulling this one off and making it look really great. So also just take this opportunity just to say, if you're enjoying the video, please don't forget to rate the video. I really appreciate all the ratings. It does help out a lot, and I know I say this every time, but a like really doesn't take long to do, so if you can, I would really appreciate it. Now you can see that I'm just moving down, just rescaling slightly the head and the neck. That's just sort of like to get them just right. Now what we use for sort of like the grippy bits on the dragon's wings is we use a flag breeze. Now some of these names for these shapes I have no idea, so but that's what they use, flag breeze. and also we use a flag breeze just for them bits as well, just freescale them just to give them a bit of a sort of curl, and that then adds to sort of like the effect of the dragon's wings and his sort of talons, whatever they are, the claws that they use to get around. So that's just a gold flag I've used at the bottom there, just to give them the sort of talons underneath, and it's just a case of jiggling all your shapes around just to make it look spot on. Obviously the whole point of this emblem is a sort of a rusticy sort of looking emblem. It's not absolutely perfect, the shape's not perfect, so things have got to be sort of slightly off. Now this is what I use for sort of a little bit of detail on the wings. It's called the half tube, a bit like what I used on the hitman, the barrels of the hitman guns. You just thin them right down, stretch them out, and then put them a shade different. That then gives a sort of a bit of a sort of perception of depth on the image, which is really simple but easy to do. Obviously also, if you haven't seen any of my other videos, we've got another 17 episodes prior to this. We've done cool stuff like Monster Energy, Rockstar Energy, DC, Chem Block. The Chem Block skull's really cool. Loads and loads of bits and pieces there for you guys to look at, so feel free to check them ones out. Now what I did there was just used a 0 and just maxed that out, and that then filled in the little gaps we had on the end, so that sorted that out and got it to where we needed it. And this is where I said at the beginning that I slightly changed things up. We removed that thing there and put the igloo in just to free up a layer, and that then gives us sort of like one extra layer to do that lighting effect. Now a lot of you guys have been saying, how do I do that lighting effect, and it is quite straightforward to see. I put a scribble on the actual screen. It starts off as white, max the scribble right out, get it really large, and you can sort of like scale it down a little bit, get it to exactly where you want, and while it's white you can see where sort of the gaps in the scribble are, and you can move it around. Then you change it to black, and then you drop the opacity down, and that's a really easy way to sort of add shading to your image without having to waste lots of layers trying to sort of like get things right, because it can be very difficult to add like different levels of shading. It can be really difficult. So here you can see us, it grabbed the scribble, maxed it right out, then we you can see the gaps there, so I dropped the opacity down a little bit. You could leave it like that if you want, but you can just spin the image round, get it exactly where you want the shading to be, and that way it then looks really cool. And I think I dropped the opacity down when I'm finished to about 35, something like that, but put it to wherever you guys want. Obviously I just sort of give you guys the sort of template to do what you want with, and you can sort of adjust and change things as you see fit, colours and all sorts. You can have whatever colours you want and all that. So I just sort of show you guys how to do it, and it's for you to take it out there and do what you want with it. So, but as always, we're getting towards the end of the emblem here, guys. Thanks ever so much for watching. Please don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and thanks for watching. I'll see you later. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. Feel free to check me out on there. That way you'll never miss any of the videos I post, and you'll get to read some of the mundane tweets that I manage to tweet out on a daily basis. Thanks ever so much, guys, and I'll see you later.